Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of your Scottish podcast with myself, Craig, my trusty co-host, Aaron. Aaron, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Now, I do apologise that I might need to jump off the call, depending if I get either a phone call or my door goes, because I'm waiting on someone coming. Regarding a serious incident, so I need to might need to jump off, but we'll be left with Aaron to take over. Aaron will then do the rest of the call with our guest tonight. But we'll get into our guest tonight. So our guest has wrestled for companies such as PBW, ICW, Pro 2, Main Event. I'm getting one that I've not seen before, so give me 2 secs. Well, I have seen it because it was a couple of years ago. Pro Wrestling Scotland. I knew that badge. He's on here, only says he's held one championship, and that was the Scottish Inter-Promotional Championship for Pro 2. He is part of God's Country and Valor. He is the one, the only, Frank Ross. Frank, how are you?
Yeah, absolutely smashing, folks. Thank you very much for having us on, guys. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming on. We have spoke to you before when we were under Real Wrestling. We were just talking about that before we came on. And that was just roughly around December time last year. So we're like we do with the guests we've had on since we've had on with Real Wrestling before as well. We'll go from where we last spoke to them because we don't want to go over the same stuff twice. It's not fair on the wrestler, and it's not fair on any of you seen it the last time either. So we last spoke to you, which I will get on my notes. I literally just told Alan before we came on.
December. I can't remember
December. I'm getting the date.
I can't remember the date. I just know it's December.
It was roughly around the 17th of December, so that was just before Christmas.
Okay.
So how has things been for you since then?
I'd say it's been a decent year, not necessarily the busiest, but I've done some been part of some quite cool things. Some things I think's quite exciting now, especially with Valor and like Pro 2 are growing as well. I was over wrestling for the Sweden Rock Festival as well. I was over for 4 nights over there. That was great. It was a great. The crowds were awesome. The roster was really it was really unique. It was kind of from all over the world. The guys from Argentina, England, Scotland, all over Sweden, Denmark, and that was just a really cool roster as well. That was in Stockholm Wrestling. You'll see them. Their name's it's like abridged STHLM. You might see that. But yeah, that was a great experience. Like even just like wrestling twice a day, was just kind of a little bit, more of an eye opener for me. Because you obviously see the proper pros, the guys who do it for a living, they're out there wrestling constantly. Whereas I did 4 days and I was absolutely ruined.
No, it's good to hear. And like we said, we go off a cage match, which we know isn't 100% up to date, because literally we were just speaking before we came on. It's literally since the last time we spoke, you've had like 4 matches, which we know isn't true.
Yeah. So, usually you guys are better at reminding me who I've wrestled, to be honest.
It's very true, actually.
I know we won the last year, but at least we have a working camera tonight.
I know.
Yeah.
This is literally the exact same setup I had before. Nothing's changed. It's just refused to work last time.
Oh well. So like we normally do, let's start with some proper random questions. We have new ones because we know we've done some on you before. I am not prepared tonight with what's going on. So give me just 2 seconds while I find my questions on my phone.
Well, we can find the questions. I'll say that Tony's came in the comments and said, "Hello, Frank. Can you tell Tim that I don't like him?"
I'm sure Tim will be delighted to hear that.
The best thing is she told me earlier she was going to do this. Where's my questions gone?
I don't know, mate. Okay,
Aaron,
Chinese or
okay.
Indian? Frank.
Oh, Chinese, definitely. I don't mind an Indian, but I usually just go for the kind of tandoori mixed grill, which doesn't really feel like you're eating Indian food, you know?
Yeah.
You just feel like you're eating some chicken. Like, yeah, definitely Chinese. Or chicken curry, chicken satay, like, yeah, oh yeah.
Fair. Who is the main person you want to wrestle on the independent scene that you've not?
Oh, I think last time I was trying to get at Cara Noir, but there's this huge big guy called Kruger Cruel. He wears like one of those kind of. He's a masked wrestler, but he's like 6'7". He just choke slams the shit out of people, and he does a lot of kind of horror movie sort of stuff. He's got a kind of like swamp thing kind of look about him. It's like kind of snakeskin kind of mask. It's like he's got the kind of yellow contacts, and he's just a badass. And since I started kind of like following him, he's just been. I think he's maybe Australian or from New Zealand. And since I've started following him on Instagram, he just went from height to height. You just see him looking all over the states right now as well. Like he's just a big fucking monster, you know. Not that we don't have him over here, but he's just like his promo work and stuff's just like top notch as well.
Yeah. What's your favorite storyline ever in WWE?
Wow,
it's an absolute good one, mate. Actually,
yeah. I've been watching a lot of Reliving the War wrestling bios on YouTube. And it's just got to be, as a whole, just the proper Stone Cold McMahon wrestling feud. Like that was just, at the time, it was kind of groundbreaking. You never had that thing Stone Cold was doing, fighting against the man, as they say, you know. And then the kind of the very famous, it was me, Austin, kind of thing. Like back then, obviously it helps kind of being a little bit younger as well. Those are like, that was the heyday for me, you know. The Attitude Era was just wild. I loved it.
Yeah. What's your favorite WWE saying?
WWE saying?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a saying, but it's just sold out at the Gorilla, you know, sold out at the curtain, like when all the boys are watching from the back. It's usually for your main event when everyone's had their match before, but you'll get these matches on some cards where they may not necessarily be main event, but there'll be something about them that just, you're like, shit, I need to watch this, you know. There might be maybe a big names came to town or something like that. Like what I can think about from a few years ago in Pro Wrestling Elite was like Noam, when he was, who did he wrestle again? Was it Noam versus Cody? Was it? Was that the match? PWE?
Maybe.
I think it was. I think it was like first one, like wow, like the sort of match you'd never expect to see anywhere, like in Scotland, you know. Of course, Noam could work anyone, even back then. Noam Dar. But just those kind of like just sold out of the Gorilla, kind of, you know, something that like even the guys backstage just grabs their attention as well. You know, it's something special.
Fair enough. Let's go for one more. What's your pre-show meal?
Mine's is kind of boring, I guess. I tend to eat the same thing every day. Pre-show doesn't really make much of a difference. Just be a protein shake in the morning, protein shake at lunchtime, maybe some chocolate. If I'm wrestling, maybe some chocolate and like a pre-workout or Red Bull. Quite simple. It's same as I would for. I don't really have many sort of wrestling kind of rituals, except for when I'm nervous, I pee a lot. So I'll be drinking. I'll be making sure I'm staying hydrated. So I'll be drinking a lot of water, and then I'll like say 5-10 minutes before I'm due to go out, you'll just see me going back and forth back and forth to the bathroom, like, oh, shit, pee. Then I'll be ready. So I guess peeing a lot is kind of my only ritual, I guess.
Fair enough. So we'll get into some of your wrestling now. Obviously we don't get to see much of you this year. Just with who we've been part of Valor, like with the days they do their shows, it's a bit tough for us to get through to like Glasgow.
Sunday night,
yeah. And especially with having work the next day, like I've got my work. I work Monday to Friday, so and most Mondays my other half works as well. So it's just too much for us. But you have had a few matches for Pro 2 as well. And you have had a match for Scottish Wrestling Entertainment as well.
Yep.
So we're not really going to talk about much about who, like your match, but it'll be like, who you went up against.
Mm-hmm.
So you went up against Logan Smith. Now, Logan Smith is one of the best up-and-comers just now in the business. He is doing so well for himself. So what was it like for you to have that match with Logan?
Well, I've known Logan since they first started training, back at PBW years ago. He's just one of those guys. He reminds me of like Steve Xavier kind of before him. He's one of these guys like every single match with him is just so easy, you know. You don't necessarily have to go out there and plan a lot. Everything's just so natural. And we've been saying he's like one of the up and coming guys for years, and it's just because he's got so much potential. Like he really he's one of these guys that came from PBW who could just wrestle anyone in the planet again, like your Noam Dars, your David Blazes, Steve Xavier. These guys have got all the wrestling talent in the planet, you know. It's just trying to navigate the business and the look, like, you know. So Logan Smith's one of the guys who can do everything.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, and we get to see Logan every other month mostly, which was good. And it's someone that I enjoy speaking to because you always get a laugh with as well. We'll talk about get Pro 2 matches first, and then I'm gonna then look to see what we can find out about Valor, see if there's anything there. But you've had a feud in Pro 2 with Frank Gallo. You went a few months in a row, for a few months of wrestling him. What was it like going up against Frank, and how did you feel the feud went?
Oh, absolutely loved it, and I thought it was great business for both of us. He's such a great character worker, Frank Gallo. He's something fresh as well. Something kind of a few guys have kind of tried like throughout the years in Scottish wrestling, this kind of unhinged kind of style, you know. We had it with like Switch a few years ago, kind of in the kind of orange body, it's like psychiatry unit sort of suit, and like guys like Zero, who are both like great guys. Like they do great. Zero is like he's an awesome promo as well. But I just think that unhinged look, the all round, like this guy's absolutely nuts. He just seems so natural. It's as if he's not working at all. He just comes out and he just is this completely unhinged guy. And I think I enjoyed it because it kind of, the way the feud went with different kind of stipulations, kind of like submission matches and things like that, and like over the top rope, it helped me kind of force myself to be a bit more creative. And we approached like the structure and set up matches and stuff like that. So as a whole, I think it went great. I mean, you'll see Frank. I don't know if you can ever post it, but you'll see Frank Gallo like he's flying now in Pro 2, like he's on all the posters. Like, and from my perspective, bringing a guy that would have been, I think I was maybe his second match or something, maybe his third, to just go into a long program and for him to come out of that and do well is exactly what we're trying to achieve. You know, let's basically make this guy a fucking star, and I think I helped do that.
Yeah, and look, I've only seen Frank a handful of times, but every time I see him, I really enjoy watching these matches. He always brings something different to a couple like other people can bring, so it's good to see what Frank can bring.
So before we continue, Mr. Jamdog has come in the comments and he says, "It's all right, Frank. I poop a lot before matches." I was seeing that and I'm trying not to laugh and I'm just thinking, oh my god, wow.
Just tell them we're going to screenshot that and send it to Twitter.
Hello, Jam Dog. It's good to see you in the comments.
Yep.
But yeah, like we were saying with Frank Gallo, it's good to see that how well he's doing as well in the business. He's getting
100%.
booked to a lot of places as well, which is good.
Yeah.
You tagged in Pro 2 with Davey Blaze. Also, I'm sure we spoke about Davey before, but you can't really not speak about Davey anytime.
No.
Is he still the biggest joker in the room like ever?
Well, that match was just a laugh. It was like a gala day. It'd been pissing with rain. Like, luckily it dried up and the ring was fine and things like that. But he'd been doing this kind of party boy dance in the lead up to that. So my idea was as best as I could. I was just trying to go out there and match his energy and just have a laugh. We were fighting them. What do you call it? Oh, I'm terrible with names. We were fighting
the Blood
Dick
Money
Taylor.
Mercs.
Yeah, Dick and Vinny. And who, like, Dick's been around forever as well. Like, you can go out there and just have fun. That's what maybe some fans don't see is the kind of gala days where we're not running storyline or something. Pro 2 might have done a wee bit of storyline, but a lot of matches, a lot of shows, you won't be running storylines. You'll just be going out there to entertain the kids and sometimes entertain yourself. And with Blaze, it's just so easy. Blaze is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I enjoy seeing Davey, and he's always a good laugh, and he's always sim to speak to as well. Like you can literally speak to him about anything.
Funny as well because he's trying to stay when he's heel and he just can't keep the face of it, and you see him like breaking out of character. It's funny as anything. Watch him in the ring when he's a heel and he just can't keep a straight face.
Yeah, but we can break anyone's character.
That's very true, mate. That's very true.
It's not the first person that I've broke character. I've broke plenty of characters. So yeah, I really need to stop doing that though.
Well, it's their job to kind of stay in character, or make their reaction work as the character. You know, if you break them, it's their fault.
No, and I know it's fun to do because I've always got a challenge. I'll always aim just to break one person in a show, and I'm always going. I'm going for this person before the show. I think I've broke Davey. I've broke Kid Fight. I broke Tim Strange. That was a God's Company match. That was a Valor and Paisley. In Paisley, yeah, Paisley. Who else I broke? I broke Old School Cool James Blair. I broke Ruby Roberts. Like I always aim for Mark Monroe, another one. There's always one that I try and break a show, and it's always them.
Who's next on your hit list?
I was just thinking that.
Right. So what's my next show? My next show will be
end of the month, mate.
Sol type. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's W3L on the 15th.
Right. So who am I going to break in W3L? I don't even know who's on the card yet. I'll need to wait and see who's on the card. But yeah, there'll be someone I try and break. So we'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Your last one that I've got here for Pro 2. You had the Pro 2. You were in a Pro 2 Ayrshire heavyweight title match. You went up against champion Hunter Sampson. Hunter Sampson has been proving himself big time in the business. He's doing so well for himself. But what was it like for you to go up against Hunter?
I have really enjoyed the match. Hunter's crack big fella. I'm not sure I'm the only one to pin him recently. I say recently, it was like it would have been about a year ago in the gauntlet match for the promotional belt when I lost it actually to Blaze. But he's a huge big guy, and he's mega talented as well. I was talking to him today actually. Semi interested in like music and stuff. We were looking at the download lineup, and how it just looks like 2001. It's just, but yeah, it was a crack match, solid match. I'm still injured from it, but that was kind of my own fault. I sandbagged a choke slam a little bit. You ask Cameron Finlay about that. We might disagree. Well, we don't. I was trying to claim it as a timing issue, but nah, I just must have been not keen for it. because it's you know what, guys, it's shite being chokeslammed. Especially like I took an absolute monster of a chokeslam off of Big Flex. Don't you remember Big Flex? Flex Hunter, I think it was actually. What was it? Guys called Hunter chokeslamming me, but I was in training, so it wasn't in the ring. It was like there was mats and then concrete, and this guy chokeslammed me. Again, like 6'7", 6'8" guy, and I just like as if I see myself like a ghost. You have that out of body experience. I just see myself lying there, and I was like, it just absolutely ruined me. So maybe I was kind of having a bit of a momentary flashback to feeling how painful a chokeslam could be. But that was on me. But the match as a whole was great fun. We kind of started off. It's a new venue for Pro 2, so they hadn't seen me before. I just take my mic off its stand. They hadn't seen me before, and we were kind of thinking about doing face. But again, because they hadn't seen me, didn't really know, didn't want to confuse the fans too much. So I went out there. I kind of started face, then I just kind of slowly turned the screw. Like Big Suave was out with the Hunter as well, managing him, which really helped. He kind of came over to me trying to shake my hand outside after I'd been billed, and I just sort of slapped it away but it was good. So it was good to play heel in a sort of family show again. But Big Hunter, he's got loads of talent. He's got the height and build and work ethic. He's not just tall. I mean, he's big, he's charismatic, and he can work. I mean, he's got like a guy like Andy Wilde as his trainer. Like he can go places, you know. He's already been on ICW the last couple of months, hasn't he?
Yeah, man, like we see him we've seen the last couple of times in SCW, and mate, like you're talking about being 6 foot and that height. It's like, see when he first time I see him, he came out and like, holy fucking shit, he's a big man. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not a wrestler, but I'm thinking I wouldn't want to get in the ring with him because I would end up getting hurt. You know what I mean? And I'm like thinking, holy fucking crap.
I gave him a running scissor kick and I nearly broke my foot.
Fuck. Oh wow.
Aye.
Wow.
He doesn't know this. Like it was like during my wee sort of moment towards the end, I gave him a spinning heel kick. Then I hit off the ropes, kind of give him a running side kick, kind of scissor kick thing. And like for the next few days, I was just like, honestly, killing me for about a week. Just because how much of a big lump of a boy he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He probably barely even felt it. I'm like, well, bang, have that. And he just, I get injured.
Yeah, talking about your site as well, the last Saltaire show.
Yeah.
Fiona introduced him. He was in the gauntlet. And Fiona introduced him. He came in and she just kind of then looked at, we were sitting just to the side of her, and she just looked at like us and went, oh my God, he is so tall. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's class. Like he's doing so well for himself as well, and like I'll see him at the end of the month again. He's in a match at the end of the month for Saltaire, so I'll see him then. But I've looked up Valor, so we'll go into the Valor stuff, and I've found you. So it's good. So the first match I've got here was in February, and it was yourself and Tim Strange. You went up against Big Mick and Kev, and you got the win. What was it like going up against Big Mick and Kev in that match?
That was the first time I'd met Kev. I think he was maybe a replacement for injured Tommy at that point. But so he'd done the kind of like the fan angle sort of thing. It was good. Big Mick solid. We get a decent match out of Big Mick. And he's a lovely bloke, Mick, as well. Like he's one of the legit strongest guys I've met. Like that guy likes to lift heavy weights. But Kev was nice, lovely little bloke. He kind of said, any sort of fan, like, oh, there's a 2-on-1s. Who's going to help Mick? And he puts his hand up. He comes in, and I think I just cracked him with like my finisher, and I've got a cracking photo of me doing like a torture rack neck breaker thing. And he just took it like an absolute champ. I think when we planned the match, because he had to sit in the crowd, I don't think I think I just said, I'll grab you and hit you with something. And he just went, all right. So he didn't quite know the end of the match until I've fired him into a torture rack, then hit my cutter, then Tim splashed him. So like, wow, like as an introduction to Valor, like that's as much a good introduction you're going to get.
No, and it's like you don't really see much where they don't know what the finish is going to be like. But it's also a good surprise for everyone. See,
Yeah.
the best of both worlds. You then returned in March, the 16th of March. You went up against Fulton King. What was it like going up against Fulton?
Fulton's kind of one of these guys. He's just he's just really fun to work. When we did Sweden, I think we wrestled like 3 times out there as well. And again, this is kind of going back to like kind of doing gals and just kind of like going out to have fun. On the last match, I was heel, he was face, and he just hit me with like all the classics, like stunner, rock bottoms, people's elbow, and we just had an absolute laugh. So, to be honest, I can't even remember the match, which makes me think I maybe got hit with a chair. No, but Big Fulton's like, I've not known Fulton that long, to be honest, but I absolutely fucking adore the guy. We had an absolute blast in Sweden, so I remember the matches you had in Sweden a lot better. No, like he's one of the guys I could wrestle any day of the week, and just it would be different, but we'd still have fun, you know.
Yeah, that's good. You then returned again the following month. This time you were in a 3-way for the European heavyweight title. Again, it was yourself, Fulton King, and you were joined by BT Gunn. What was it like having the opportunity to go for this European title?
Yeah, no, that was a great kind of a great moment for me. With Valor kind of giving me that opportunity, you know, even just like you go into some, you go even as a fan, you'll go to some shows and you'll see some title matches, and you'll go, you know yourself, it's like back when the title never changed on Raw or SmackDown. You go, right, there's a championship match here. It's not going to change hands until fucking WrestleMania. So I think everyone knew Booty was going to retain, but that's kind of the beauty of the wrestling. Is just somewhere throughout the match, somewhere towards the end, maybe like just that little bit of belief. Oh, it might happen. You know what I mean? So, but it was great fun. We started obviously kind of as a 3-way wood. We're all in the ring. We're all smacking each other and stuff. Big bang, bang, bang. So I think I've hit BT with like a kick, big boot or something, all standing in a triangle, and Fulton gives me like a Superman punch, and it knocks me into the corner, and this punch nearly knocked me out. Like so, it was supposed to be bang, 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 take the Superman punch in the corner, but I'm in the corner, and I know I need to be back in the middle in like 2 seconds for this next spot, and I'm struggling, man. I'm like I don't even have to sell. I'm all over the place. I'm like, what? I need to try and get back. And I just make it back in time though. Again, it was good. It was a nice fun. It had a good little, enough kind of spotty stuff. Some good kind of brawling stuff. I was trying to down a pint, which I can do, but not when I'm gassing and I've really been knocked out. You should try downing a pint halfway through a wrestling match. It's a lot different from when you're standing at a bar, fresh. But we just kind of kicked the shit at each other for a while, and then had a laugh. It was a little bit campy, a little bit technical, a little bit of brawling. That was great fun. I really enjoyed it. Working with Booty as well. Yeah, you do get a little bit nervous because we all know Booty's so good. So you don't want to you need to try and get up to what he expects from you, sort of thing. And it keeps you on your toes. It's always good for me. Sometimes I'll be quite guilty. Not get guilty of doing the same thing, because that's one thing I don't do. I never go through the motions, but it's always good to try and have someone there where you go, shit, I really need to step up my game here. You know, just to kind of not necessarily prove yourself, but just kind of you know, just to show everyone in the locker room that you can keep up.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. And like Booty's one of the best out there as well in the business. Like, he's doing so well for himself still. He's been in it for a while. He's still striving to this day. The month after, you were in a 6-man tag. It was yourself, Stone Malone, and Tim Strange, God's Country. You went up against Circus du Catch. Is that how you say it?
Cirque du Catch.
Cirque du Catch, which is Big Mick, UNG Mackey, and Tommy Lockhart. Obviously, UNG Mackey's been in the business for a while, so what was it like going up against him? But Tommy Lockhart's thriving in the business himself just now. So what was it like having Tommy Lockhart as well?
Yeah, Tommy was away from the business for a long time. He was around. He was even around ICW back in the kind of Spaceballs era. He trained with PBW back then. But he's came back and he's just been flying, and it's been great. No, it was great. It was really good to see him back. First of all, I've known him for years when he first started training. I'm surprised by how well he's doing. It's absolutely great. Mackey's always a pleasure. Mackey's he's just such a throwback, Mackey. He wouldn't look at a place in like an RPG setting. But he's an absolute gentleman as well. Mackey, it's good to see him, as he'll tell you, over the side of Scotland. But I really enjoyed that match. I kind of had Mackey was taking the heat, and he was getting an absolute kicking, and he was just getting thrown around. Because God's Country were three big guys, man. They're all different shapes and sizes, but as a unit, we're three fucking big blokes. And Mackey's just a slight fella, so he was just getting splatted and passed around, and I was like, I had to tag myself in basically and cut it. I was like, boys, we need to move on here. This is getting a bit fucking grim. But he was fine. Like there was no dramas. Like there was no complaints or anything like that. But I was just watching it. Like he probably just because he works that well. He sold me thinking he was getting smashed. I was like, oh, this is almost a shame. But no, I really enjoyed that match. It was Mackey's. I always like his kind of unique twists. His kind of macabre kind of stylings and all these kind of character work. I've always really enjoyed Mackey's work.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Like Mackey, I don't see much of Mackey nowadays. I do like keep up to date online and stuff like that. But he's still doing really well for himself, and he's still putting in the work that he always has put in that I know of anyway. You then in August you had a 3-way. You were in the match with Crowbar and Looking Sharp. So what was it like with Crowbar? And obviously we all know everyone goes on about how nuts Looking Sharp is.
Yeah.
But what was that match like for you with him?
Well, with Crowbar was fun. We were just kind of, I think we were doing like Hogan poses and stuff like that as heels together. And again, like you say with Lou, it's you know you're going to take a little bit of pain being in the ring with Looking Sharp. But yeah, Crowbar was just fun. We were kind of quite not similar characters necessarily, but we got a kind of similar approach to our heel work. It's like quite a stiff style, sort of no nonsense offense. And we just had fun. Yeah, it's the first time in a ring, I think, with Crowbar, and we've both been around long enough that it's quite surprising, you know. The man's got an absolute iron vice grip handshake like you would not believe. You shake Crowbar's hand, man, you're like, oh fucking hell. Honestly. But no, I just really enjoyed it. Like obviously we all saw kind of like Crowbar's kind of earlier work with the Purge and stuff like that back when they were like doing really, really well. So it was good for me. Like even when you're a wrestler, you're still a fan of other people's work and stuff like that. But back then I would have loved to have wrestled the Purge, but finally being able to get into the ring with Crowbar was a highlight. Definitely something I'd wanted to do like long before now.
No, it's good. And hopefully there's going to be many more matches for you and Crowbar, because obviously he's part of Eastern Bloc, part of God's Country, so there may be that chance to come together that way as well. You've had one time at SWE recently. You went up against Old School Cool James Blair. What was that match like for you going up against James Blair?
James, I think I've wrestled him before, to be honest. it was quite an interesting match because his storyline was kind of like non-sanctioned matches, and he had an ongoing feud with Musso. And I think like he was a kind of tweener. Maybe he's a bit heel, a bit face, kind of. And I wasn't really, for myself, approaching it. I kind of approached it like I thought he was just heel. So the crowd were, he had a lot more support than I expected in the crowd. So I've came out there giving it, oh, you leave Mike Musso alone, I'm going to kick your ass. And the crowd's like, who the fuck's this guy? So, it was a good match. Like, it was solid. I had a bit of a fuck up myself personally, which I don't know. I went for like a spinning heel kick off the top rope, and I just slipped, man. And I've kind of not rotated enough in that, and I legit thought I injured him during that match. Because I had a little complaint about the top rope, which later in the main event came off. So I kind of felt a bit vindicated because the match was solid. Like, I felt, apart from the kind of start when the crowd weren't too sure, but kind of in a way, it's just I came down in awkward. I thought I hurt his knee, and the crowd thought I'd hurt his knee as well. It just looked ropey. So then in that split decision, I just decided, right, I need to just react like a heel here, and then just start arguing with Ruby, like, rather than, because just in case he was hurt, I had to kind of buy him some time, make it make sense, like I've maybe injured this guy that they all like, sort of thing. So it was quite, not necessarily challenging that, but it's like something you kind of, you really need to think on your feet sometimes with what you're presented. Like, if something necessarily doesn't go to plan, you can't just go, oh shit, mate, are you all right? So you kind of need to almost be a bit ruthless and just ignore them or fucking laugh or something, just to make it make sense in the wrestling world. But it turns out he was fine. Like, he proper just sold me. I think he maybe twisted. Well, he was maybe worried for a split second because he'd had a previous injury. But he completely sold me. I was convinced he was like he'd twisted his knee or something. So, but no, the match as a whole was good. It's just a wee incident at the end. But that actual show, I don't know if you've heard about like Drew Marshall versus Johnny. He always changes his name.
It was Johnny Hex at the time, and it's now Johnny Wilson.
Right, aye. He's always changing his name, but the finish for their match where Johnny worked his entire family was absolute gold. I don't know if you saw it. Like,
so
Drew pushed him off a balcony.
Yeah, a bit of backstory on that one. I turned up literally just as your match had finished. I was at Bleeding Gums.
That's right, you were outside.
So I turned up literally just as that match finished. So I seen the last two matches, and I seen obviously the Drew Marshall versus Johnny match. I seen that, and I seen obviously the match is finished, but they kept brawling, and then they went upstairs, and I'm like, what the hell? And then when it came off back, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. But I do know that there's he had to make a big apology to his family.
Oh, aye. Oh, people like his sister and his granny, or people in tears. I was just like, I loved it. Like,
his cousin and his mum.
Aye, there's a certain part of me that I absolutely loved it. It felt like a throwback to the 80s where like people would like, when grannies would try and punch you, and like it felt like I was like, wow, that was such a work. Like, because something like I say, maybe his cousin, like backstage, Drew was getting all kinds of like legit hate, and I was like, this is cool, man. Like, I wouldn't have done it, but I'm enjoying the fucking how well they've sold it.
Yeah.
Even though it was hokey as shit, right? But obviously he's getting pushed behind him. It's like when WWE used to push people off the entranceway and they'd fall in a pile of boxes. Like, don't get me wrong, there was still an element of danger involved. I wouldn't want to take that bump. Blood and fucking crash mats, but just that emotional reaction, you won't get that in a film. Even though like it's obviously he probably had to apologize. I thought it was good. I wouldn't have done it, but I enjoyed it as a aye, as a third party to it. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how it happened, but it was because on the video package I'm actually filming it as well, and on the video package to put out, my video footage is on it.
All right.
So it was just one of those moments where like, what the hell's going to happen? And then that happens, and then it's like everyone just gets told to get out, and it's like everyone's out and away, and people, and you're like, normally you're like speaking to wrestlers or people getting out pictures, and there's nothing. It was just weird that night.
They should have had fake paramedics running in or something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
they'd done enough, to be fair.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's back. They had their match at Health Like that. Johnny Wilson got over. Johnny Wilson got the win. And Drew then acknowledged Johnny Wilson for it. So it's good to see what's going to happen with Johnny Wilson going forward and with Drew going forward as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a shame. I'd like to have seen that the return match. That'd have been good.
No, it was a good match, to be fair. I said that I was speaking to Jay the Jackal after it, and he was like, "What did you think?" and stuff like that. And I was like, "To be fair, match of the night for me was Drew versus Johnny. That was my match of the night, hands down. That was my match of the night." So that was interesting. Aaron, I feel like I've talked for ages. Have you got any questions?
Don't, mate, because I asked them all before the last time.
Oh God,
I really don't. It's like, yeah, I get he enjoys being in God's country. I get he enjoys being a heel and everything else. So there's no point in me asking the usual ones and stuff about face or heel, because I know the answer, because he enjoys being a heel and stuff. But okay, I know you're with God's country, but do you prefer working alone or do you prefer working in a team? There you go, Craig. Just so you're not talking much more.
It depends. Sometimes I prefer singles. Sometimes I prefer tag. I don't necessarily like 6-mans or triple threats necessarily. But it's really down to personal preference. Sometimes in a 6-man you can kind of get a bit lost. And wrestling's all about telling the stories, and sometimes you want to tell your own story. Sometimes you want to tell a story as a group. Essentially, you're telling the promoter's story in a way, but with your own. But I don't mind, man. I'm quite happy. Like when I kind of first started out, it was all tag matches. Tag match, you've obviously got quite a lot of safety. You can kind of come in and out when you want if you're the heel. But like in God's country, we don't really necessarily talk about what we're going to do. Like in certain points, we're not necessarily a tag team. We're just a faction of single wrestlers. We don't do tag moves. You won't see us doing many tag moves and things like that. We've got our own little kind of signature bits. We might kind of throw in here and there. But yeah, it's like, on a kind of, like, say it was a family show, I'd probably prefer just a singles match. I feel like I'm a singles wrestler, but being in God's country is just so much fun. I'd quite happily do that every single show. Tag 6-man, like it's just fun, and I love the photos. 3 big fucking cowboys coming out and wrecking people, like it's just cool. I enjoy it.
In Tim's rodeo time, man. Wow.
Oh, you can't.
You know what I mean?
You can't not have that.
No, definitely.
The fans would fucking revolt.
I know, we definitely would, man. 100%. Honestly.
Oh no, it's class. There's never been one show I've not went to where Tim's not done his rodeo time recently.
No, there isn't either, mate. It shows that I've seen him as well.
Yeah. So obviously you've alluded before we came on that you changed your name quite a few times over the years. Now, was there any reason for that at all, or was it was the right thing to do at the right moment kind of thing?
Well, I started off with Dave Krychek, which is kind of a bit boring, but for me, just no one really got it. Like, no, and Krychek, it's a bit unusual. Some people see it in a poster and didn't really know how to even say it. I probably mentioned to you guys before. It was like one of the characters from the X-Files who kind of, sometimes he was a bad guy, sometimes a good guy. You weren't too sure. So I just, for me, kind of, I thought it was a smart name for wrestling, but just didn't quite translate. And then David the Beloved came around. I just had the idea. I just had an idea for a gimmick change, and Krychek just didn't suit the gimmick. So it went from just being generic wrestler to this crazy, like evangelical preacher con man type, and just David the Beloved it just sounded like bullshit. It just sounded bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? This is just a nonsense fucking. Who is this guy? David the Beloved. Like, but then that kind of, I was only really doing it in ICW because it didn't quite make sense anywhere else. It was quite risque at the time. It was a bit, it would be considered offensive now, I think, anyway, because he was so anti-gay. Like a feud with Chris Saint because he was gay and I was anti-gay. That was it. That was how simple it was. That was this religious nutcase and he was gay. There you go. There's a storyline. So like family shows wouldn't touch it because it necessarily wouldn't translate very well.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like stopped doing that. Then I still Krychek here and there. I just fancy the change. And Frank Cross, again, it's from like media. He's just from Scrooged, the Bill Murray film Scrooged, one of my favorite films ever. I was probably just drunk at Christmas watching Scrooged and thinking,
yes,
I'll call myself Frank Cross. Because he was such a bastard at the start. It's probably, and in the end, he did the film. He's a fucking good guy. He's saved and all that shit. Honestly, every Christmas warms my heart. Mrs. should be sleeping on the couch. I'll be almost crying for his big speech at the end when he becomes a good guy. I fucking love it. And then, so I was Frank Cross for a while. Found a cowboy hat. Started getting booked as a cowboy. Then Lou King Sharp started running Valor, Copenhagen Championship Wrestling, which became Valor. We've still got his European ties. And then I think Lou just loved the old David the Beloved stuff. And he kind of wanted me just to do a kind of variation of that. And because I had Cross in the name, he just became Frank of the Cross. Still just Frank Cross. It's just of the Cross, kind of in Valor. It's just loosely. It's more like a nickname. And that's kind of the sort of evolution of how I became to be a kind of cowboy preacher. It's just kind of 2, 3, 4 things kind of mixing in together. And that's what happens in wrestling as well. You'll kind of find you just evolve over time and you'll just find something you can get more comfortable with, you know?
Mm-hmm. And someone that actually clicks.
Yeah, like, the cowboy hat stuff was just an accident as well. Like, I just bought a cowboy hat because I was going to the Opry with my girlfriend for her birthday just to dance and get drunk, dressed as cowboys.
Nice.
And then I was like, well, I've got the hat. I would be daft not to wear it wrestling. Like, the amount of like nonsense gimmicks and things you find at the bottom of a wrestling bag, old forgotten ideas like sunglasses and cigars and like just random shit. Like, oh yeah, I remember that from 3 years ago. I'll never do that, but some things stick.
Oh, that's class. My other half, Tony, has come back in and said, you're better than Tim.
Oh, well, something. I'm not the one to say it, but...
No. Tell us a wee bit more about like Sweden Fest, just what that was more like and stuff like that.
Again, it was a fella from Stockholm Wrestling. Lou King Sharp been over there, I believe. I think he may have done the year before. I'm not sure. But just as much as you imagine, it was just a big rock festival, man. Like and Sweden does rock festivals properly. It was clean. There was like loads of room. Like the weather was good. Well, there was a few showers in the end, but again, it's kind of like a throwback. They Sweden like loves rock and they love wrestling metal like the way we did 20 years ago. Everyone just buys into it, man. Like, there's no smarks. They all just stand there, get drunk, and just cheer or boo. Like it was awesome, and so yeah, it was 4 nights over in southern Sweden. Travel through Denmark, jump on the train. Who was all there? Who we had? We had Fulton King, Brody was over, Penelope. They two have since kicked the absolute shit out of each other. Lou King Sharp, myself. Yeah, that was a Scottish mob. Then there was like Enda Cara. He was there. He's from Indies. He's cracking fucking wee guy. Guy called Herco Whiskey. Heidi Katrina, who done like Japan and stuff like that. I think she does Riot Cabaret or Lucha Britannia as well. One of those. They're all great folk. It was just with a few other folk from like I think there's a German lassie or a Swiss lassie as well. Like it was just a really cool bunch, you know. Just camping, wrestling, and drinking for 4 nights and listening to good music. You know, we saw like Slipknot, Korn, like brilliant. The food was good as well. Some of it was just kind of strange Swedish stuff though. Like, it was, but no, as a whole experience, it was awesome. Yeah, really good. Like who would want to wrestle at a rock festival? That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. It's like I know that obviously that's bigger, but it's like the PBW doing is it Belladrum?
Do Belladrum, yeah.
Yeah, it's like them doing that, but obviously Sweden Fest. I've heard about it because I know that Ruby Roberts was there as well.
Ruby was there, sorry. Aye.
And I like through the SWE, me and my partner have got quite good, close friends with Ruby and James Blair. And hearing it through Ruby of how it was and what it's like and that, it seems like a really good four nights.
Aye. No, it was great. Even the music lineup was good. I definitely love to do it again. I'm not sure ever I'm going to get penciled in to get the chance to, but I'm glad I've done it. It was awesome.
Good. We went through like your wrestling career. We'll go to a couple of last like random questions. And then we'll let you take over about like social media and stuff like that. Before I go into my random questions of the evening, Anne, have you got any more questions? What?
No.
Ah, thanks. Let's see, what have I got here? If you can pick one person from the past to wrestle, so retired or passed away, who would it be and why?
Oh, give me a second. What's that actor's name? The guy who was in Oliver Twist. Oh, the drunk guy. Oh,
Hagen.
Oliver Reed. Aye, no, Fagan. The guy who played
Fagan. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
No, Oliver Reed.
Yeah.
Oliver Reed, or like Brian Blessed, one of those really crazy, big, drunk, like thespian guys with the and like, I don't know, something like that, or like Abraham Lincoln. But I think that's like a Fight Club answer. I'm not sure.
Nice. I like that. No, I do. I like that.
Yeah. Who do you take inspiration from?
In a wrestling sense?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because my kind of like I think my favorite stuff was the Attitude Era, so I guess it's kind of just those guys, you know. To be fair, like I'm not the most technical wrestler, as I'm sure y'all realize. I'm quite a kind of brawling type, but I'm just all about the character. So see these, even your like past that new era stuff when everyone was just like a worker or here I'm a plumber. That was all bullshit. Like, but when you get into the Attitude Era and you get guys who are like just naturally charismatic guys with these really strange kind of, I don't know, like your Mankind's and stuff like that. When Mankind was doing that sort of thing, like this creepy guy who lived in the boiler room wasn't your typical wrestler. Like no one's walking into a bodybuilding gym and finding someone who looks like Mankind, but you'll see a million kind of big wrestler guys. You know, those kind of strange guys, kind of even as daft as it sounds, like your boogeyman and things like that. Because as stupid as I think that was, it was something different. You know what I mean? Like especially back then, they were just going for unique kind of characters. So it's that kind of thing. That's what I look for, you know. And especially if it translates into how they wrestle, because there's no point coming out and just being unique and then going in there and just doing everything by the book. Because like sometimes like I've had feedback in the past that my bumping can look quite erratic, and it's intentional because I want it. I don't want it to look like I'm in control when I'm getting hit. I think that's besides the point. If someone's knocking you down, you shouldn't look in control. I know it's supposed to look crisp and clean, and sometimes if I'm just bumping and feeding, I'll make it that. But if you send me over the top rope, I'm going to make it look as if I'm in much danger as possible. I don't want to. I can put my hand over the rope, touch the apron, and pop out and land on my feet and go, oh no. But if you throw me, I'm going to spill, and it's going to look like I've just been absolutely launched. I mean, rather than make it look, oh, that was by the book. Nah, you get absolutely hammered. So something that, like, not only is there a character unique, everything about them, the way they walk, and the way they move, the way they wrestle, the whole kind of package. So, it's kind of, it's a bit of a non-answer, I'd say, but I'll just fuck it. I'll say Honky Tonk Man. Why not? Nah, get on.
That's brilliant, man. No, that's
last question I've got for you for this evening is, I've stole this from the Chris Van Fleet podcast. What is 3 things you are grateful for right now in life?
This is going to be, I guess it's going to be quite personal, but I'm in quite a stable position right now. Quite boring. I've just got engaged. I've just got my driving license. I've bought my first house. Moved in this house 3 years ago. So I guess I'm kind of just, even though I'm still doing silly things like wrestling and things like that, finally starting to grow up. So I guess my partner Ashley, who I met nearly 9 years ago now. So I guess just kind of my personal life, just kind of, it's all coming together. My work, and my relationship with my girlfriend. Yeah, so it's quite boring, but I say I'm quite happy to live a kind of boring life outside of wrestling anyway. Yes.
No, that's class, and congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you very much. I'm demanding that I get to wear a cowboy hat. There's been a good bit of pushback in the idea so far, but I'm definitely getting there.
No, you should. I'm on your side here.
And I want entrance music. You know how they get "Here Comes the Bride" and all that bullshit. Yeah. Fine, but I want like it's not going to be the DX tune, but I want a tune for me and the boys making our entrance as well. Like, you got to give me something. I'm just going to stand there like a dick, just walk in, no music, no chance.
Nice. No. I like that.
You need your music. You need your cowboy hat. Like, we should start a petition.
There we go.
There we go.
Sign this for Frank Cross to be able to use cowboy hat to get entrance music at his wedding.
Oh, it's gonna be a nice new white one. Oh, can't wait. Buzzing. That's why I'm growing my hair as well. Growing my hair for the wedding. Nice big proper wrestling hair. Big fucking mullet and
everything. Brian's just come in with, I seen Frank coming from Tesco once. Random.
He did. No, I was maybe at a rival show at that time. No, he walked right past me and didn't even notice me. Aye.
Shocking behaviour.
Aye. I was stoating down to probably get some cans from Tesco for after my match. I had to text him. I was just sending, every time I was wrestling for him as well, I was just sending him a picture of like the Firth Bridge or something like that. Just to, it was a non-rib that I just found funny myself. He's probably still wondering why to this day I was sending pictures of bridges. it made me laugh.
Brilliant, man.
Fair. And he probably is still wondering, to be fair, of why.
Probably is, yeah.
By the way, Brian, if you're still watching, we want Frank at Saltaire.
Yes, we do.
I'll definitely start a petition for that.
Yeah, I definitely will too.
All sorts of petitions out of this. This is going to turn out to be quite profitable little podcast like this.
No, well, it seems to me if I kind of mention stuff on podcasts, it's something it happened recently with Drew Marshall. So mention it again, and hopefully it'll happen with yourself.
Well, there we go. One thing I'm not necessarily good at in the wrestling world is promoting myself. So we should start a little, me and you, we exchange. I'll come on. Every podcast you do, just run a wee reel of me at the end looking for bookings.
Frank Cross.
Aye.
Where's the bookings?
Or I mean, like, my phone number along the bottom, just rolling.
That's brilliant,
that
man.
funny, to be fair.
That is quite
You might
funny.
get some random calls in that, but it would be quite
That's
fun.
fine. You never know, might get some random bookings at it.
Exactly.
That's
Um,
brilliant,
Some
man.
old woman's grass or something.
Maybe. I'm going to leave it down to yourself. Let people know where they can find you on social media and any shows that you have coming up that you know you're booked on.
Okie doke. I'm mostly active on Instagram, Frank_X_cross, I think. And Facebook, if anyone still uses Facebook. I quite rarely post there. Well. I'll be wrestling in Glasgow, actually. Not Glasgow, Middlesbrough. Like 5 minutes from here on December the something. I should know because I'm running the show. Along with Pro Wrestling Scotland, TG Rage. So that'll be December the 12th in Middlesbrough. Pro Wrestling Scotland, big massive wrestling kind of collaboration that we've been doing for a while. I've got an absolute ton of dates next year for Valor, with Valor seem to go from strength to strength. I'm sure if I bother Cammy, if he's listening, I'll be on Pro Tour. I think he's still got some plans for me down at Pro Tour. Guys have always been really good to me down there. Great bunch of lads. There's some good trainees come up as well through helping Davey Blaze down there. I think every week these days as well. So more than likely Pro Tour, Valor, my own show, along with Pro Wrestling Scotland, and if I ever get my finger out, I should be running big massive wrestling at least maybe twice next year. So now that I'm settled, now I've got a driving license, I can kind of get back to promoting, which is something I was toying with the idea last year, but it just wouldn't have made sense. I was going to run October, just didn't quite work out. But yeah, all things go well, I should be back promoting as well. And again, if I get my finger out, maybe SWE. Maybe get me Musso. Mike Musso's never booked me. I see the guy every month.
God's sake, Musso.
I've spoke to Musso. He's all right. He had something, but we had a wee chat. It's fine. Musso's got fucking a cracking roster. I can understand. And he's lovely bloke. Musso's brand new. Go EW3L.
We're there next Friday.
Yeah.
There we go. See. No, that's about it. I'll be mostly on Instagram, just sharing stupid reels and memes. So that's the sort of content you can look forward to. 40-year-old white male memes.
Nice.
And Brian, get in touch.
Yeah, Brian, get in touch.
Listen, or I will start sending you pictures of bridges. Be careful.
I think you should just do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get like an absolute fucking catalogue. Just send them like 2 a day.
Oh, that's class.
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Frank, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure once again. Thank you, Aaron. I forgot what I was going to say there. Thank you, Aaron, for coming on, my trusty co-host as always. Guys, please go on to TikTok, and we now have a TikTok that's getting started up, so we're on TikTok eventually.
Yay!
So go and follow us on TikTok. Also go and follow our partner, Pinfall Mafia, who we have a partnership with. So go and give they guys a follow. They also have a Discord that if you want the link, message our page. I can get it, or if you message Cully privately on TikTok, he'll give you the Discord as well. So give him a follow as well because he's part of Pinfall Mafia. Aaron, plug Sunday.
Myself, John, and Alex will be back on Sunday evening at 8 p.m. discussing the last 2 weeks of WWE. Craig, plug next week.
We'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30. I'm still not telling you the guest.
That's okay, mate. That's fine.
So you'll find out on Sunday when the thumbnail goes out. The brand new thumbnail. And actually, I need to put this out there. Thank you to Luke Aldridge at DD6 for our brand new thumbnail.
Yes.
He done that for us. So I appreciate him very much so. As much as we slag him when he's a heel, as we call him an ostrich, because it's funny. But I do appreciate him, and I thank him very much for doing that thumbnail for us. But yeah, Aaron will be back on Sunday. I'll be back on Tuesday next week at 8:30. enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Peace.